Hey everyone, welcome back to a new year. It's Tara and I wasn't actually quite sure what to call this video. I've had a super crazy last 2 months and a crazy Christmas, and I've kind of eaten most of the things that I wanted and didn't work out. Now that I'm feeling a little bit more settled, I thought it would be a great opportunity to sit down and reflect about all the things that really worked for me last year in terms of leading like a healthy, balanced lifestyle, because I feel like last year I felt really good all around the board, and I thought, you know what, I need to reflect and kind of, remind myself of what worked so I can get back on the wagon and push myself to be even better this year. And also, I used to update you guys all the time on the food and fitness front, like literally every 4 weeks if you're like an OG subscriber. And I haven't done that in a long time, so I thought it would be a great opportunity to get out all the new equipment, new camera, new mic, all that jazz, and give it a whirl and sit down and just have a chat with you guys. One of the biggest changes that I made in the last like year and a half to 2 years, very, very gradually, is I've kind of stopped the conventional way of eating, and that's given me the most results in terms of leading like a happy, balanced lifestyle that keeps me, energized, productive, and like satisfied. I've become very like in tune with my body and listening to it and eating food and food combinations that benefit me for that particular day. Sometimes I'll graze throughout the day, sometimes I'll have bigger meals, smaller meals, sometimes I won't eat at the time that I usually eat because I just don't need it, and just stuff like that, and really kind of adjusting my meals to what I need that day. I understand that not everyone can like afford to have the time to make those decisions, but that's just my like lifestyle right now. I'm able to do that. So because of that, I have stopped meal prepping a lot. Number one, because I just like my food sort of fresher, and as well, I don't really meal prep like more than one meal in advance. Like if I make a little bit of extra food, obviously I'll put in a Tupperware box and try and eat it the next day. But I find that when you're just doing like a whole week of meal prep, it's just becomes very repetitive, and it sometimes does not always suit what my body wants or needs for whatever tasks I'm doing that day. This whole like journey of being like in tune with my body kind of started around a year and a half ago, when I realized I just wasn't a huge meat lover. I didn't mind it, but I really just didn't look forward to eating chicken or beef at home. Don't get me wrong, I love a good burger and I like going out to restaurants. That's where I prefer to eat like red meat and stuff like that. But at home, I just kind of started cutting out like meat one like for one whole day, and then 2 days a week, and then fast forward up to now, I literally maybe only have chicken at home like in 3 meals of the entire week, and I've replaced most of my meals with either fish or eggs or mostly, to be honest, just vegetables. Good old roasted veg. I'm a massive fan of it and it tastes delicious. And it was only until I cut out a lot of that meat that I realised how much better my digestive health got. Like I felt like my body was really thanking me for giving it like a break from processing all these like tough meats every day, and I felt so good. I felt less bloated. Like I said, I had like less digestive problems, and everything just seemed to be a bit healthier. I was feeling lighter. Because meat is mostly out of my everyday diet now, I'm leading a very kind of like a high carb sort of diet, which suits me to the ground. I thrive on it. It gives me loads of energies. I have lots of whole foods, the odd bit of whole wheat bread or pasta, things like that, and I've been loving it. Now take what I'm saying with a pinch of salt. This is what works for me. I know tons of people that live very high protein, no carb diets, and they thrive from that. Personally, that's just like, I can't do that. I can't eat that much meat. If you're wondering about like protein and working out and all that kind of stuff, the lads from the PEAR, who I know, did a fantastic video this week about vegetarian and vegan approaches to getting protein, and it's a very informative video with lots of facts and studies and personal experiences, and it's a very fun video to watch. So I will leave that at the end of the video. You can click the little eye on the top, and I'll also leave it in the description below. Also, there are a lot of ethical benefits of eating less meat, which I also feel good about. Another thing that's been a lifesaver to me, and I will explain why in a minute, but they're the Graze boxes. These are my Christmas December ones that I've saved for you guys and didn't eat. They've got the Christmas packaging still on. These are the variety boxes, and basically Graze is like a subscription service that I've been signed up to for like the last 2 years. I get these every 2 weeks through my letterbox when I was living in Belfast, and they've just got like 4 really cool little treats in there, and I've got the variety box, so my treats change with every box. I just go on the website and choose which ones I don't want, and then I get a surprise every 2 weeks. I find these fab for on the go because I usually wake up quite late and I'm literally running out the door to get my errands done. I'm not a big breakfast person, and yeah, I'm usually in a rush, so I pop these. I always have one in my bag. I munch through them through lectures. I pick at them in work if you're like at a desk job and you're trying to like curb a craving. They're just handy to always have like a supply of food there, and I find them really good value because it's like you get 4 treats for less than £4, and a packet of nuts from Tesco costs like £4. So, and for me, like, portion is a big problem, so everything is portioned, nutritional value labeled, organized by a nutritionist, and as well some of them even like count as like your 5 a day, so I find them quite handy. Obviously you could try doing something similar at home in like a Ziploc bag, but personally I just like the excitement and the variety of like getting like a little present through the letterbox. I actually got the guys over at Grays to give me a discount code, so you guys can get the same offer I did when I signed up, which was first box free, and then you can cancel your subscription at any time if you don't fancy getting another one. On the fitness front, I didn't really make any huge strides last year. I dipped and dabbed out of doing weights. I love doing weights, but just doing it consistently with how much I move around was really frustrating. But I did even have a personal trainer for a short period of time. I wouldn't even say a personal trainer. He's a really good friend who happens to be a personal trainer, and he gave me a workout plan. So if you guys are interested, I will leave the plan that he gave me below. I was crap at the start. I literally could barely even do a burpee, but I actually got pretty good at it after a few weeks. My fitness went up quite quickly with that. But the biggest change to me is I took up Vinyasa yoga, which I'm not gonna lie, kind of changed my life. So November of last year, I joined Flow Yoga Studio, which is like an amazing Zen yoga studio. There's 2 of them in Belfast. I went to the Hill Street one, the one that was next to my university, and it was amazing. Like, I had tried yoga in like gyms and online, like, you know, on YouTube before, but it just doesn't match the energy of being in like a proper yoga studio, sharing energy with other yogis and having really, really great instructors that were passionate about yoga and the lifestyle. And it just, it helped me so much. Going once, preferably twice a week, I don't know, I just felt like an incredible improvement in my mood, and I wasn't so tightly wound. I'm the kind of person that likes to keep busy, and that can sometimes mean that I get really tightly wound when something goes wrong, but that just kind of like flew off my shoulders, and it also stopped me from getting overwhelmed in my final year of uni. I really made time out of my busy uni schedule, my final year at uni, to go, and my course was very like physical. You had to actually be there. It wasn't one of these courses that you just go home and read a book. You had to be in uni, you had to be making stuff, you had to be under pressure all of the time, and it just helped so much putting that time away for myself to go chill out. It also improved my physical strength a lot. You guys, I even grew a full inch. Like, I got measured at the doctor's and I grew a full inch because I had straightened out my spine. I also did not get the pain in my body, you know, once you're standing for long periods of time. In my course, you stand an awful lot when you're pattern cutting and making clothes and all that kind of stuff. And as well, I used to get massive tension in my neck from being on a sewing machine. No matter how much I tried to like sit up straight, you would just, because you're like this for hours on end, I would get massive tension in my neck, and I felt that going to yoga really relieved that tension, and it was kind of like a self-massage in a way, and I just never got sore. I never had any issues physically with being tired or sore that entire year, so I was really impressed about that. And I was also a lot more limber. I would say I would like pick up things with a certain finesse. If you guys could recommend like a really cool Zen yoga studio in New York that's not too expensive, leave it down below, because I'd love to join a new studio. One massive mistake I made last year, probably the last 2 years, was over drinking water. Because you always see like all my favorite fitness gurus were like, I've drank 3 liters a day, I drank a gallon a day, and I'm there like with my 3 liters and like, am I skinny yet? Like, why isn't anything happening? I probably wasn't working out half as much as them, but sometimes when people are telling you to drink that much water and you may not be working out as much as them, you just kind of expect miracles. I think we've all patted ourselves on the back when we've had a clear pee, which is now one of my all-time most hated things is when somebody says aim to have a clear pee. So I was kind of hitting at least the 2 litre mark most days, and what I found is that I would go to sleep around 11, I would stop drinking the water at like 6. Like even when I stopped drinking water really early, it would wake me out of a dead sleep. It was affecting my sleep so much. 3 times a night it would wake me out of my sleep. Like the urge to go to the pee was so strong 3 times a night, and I was waking up my partner. I wasn't getting the best sleep. I wasn't then in the best mood the next day. I just always felt tired. So I kind of did a little bit of research, asked my doctor about it, and it turns out I was just plain old drinking too much water, and I was more than likely flushing down the toilet my organic, antibiotic-free, over-expensive food nutrients down the toilet with that. So yeah, it's not always good to aim for that clear pee all day long. I've read some like holistic books over the last year, watched a lot of documentaries, and for me like nutrient dense foods are like super important, and like having a diet that is going to keep me from getting sick, keep me from having problems in the future with my body, and just being good to my body is really important to me now. Don't get me wrong, I like a good pizza, I like a good, treat, like cheat meal, but actually like investing in the building blocks of my own body is now very important, and I think that food should be an investment. Thank you all so much for watching as usual. I will see you guys in the next vlog.